Yo, what's up? So I guess today I've decided that I would do something I've been meaning to do for a while. I kind of looked through the comments on the videos and pulled some of the questions that you guys have had for me. It's a beautiful day, so I've chosen to come outside to do this. Hopefully it won't be too noisy out here. But I'll just go ahead and get started. I want to make this quick. Not that I'm ignoring you guys. I just don't want to bore you with a bunch of rambling on about these subjects. But anyway, okay. So question number one: justifying vintage guitar prices over custom-made or custom shop guitars. Ultimately, someone posed the question, how can I justify having such an expensive guitar as opposed to having multiple custom shop or even custom made instruments? I'll be straight ahead and honest with this. Vintage guitars are just like any other guitar. They're you can have really good ones or really bad ones. A lot of the value is based off of collectability, and they are great instruments and well made. That's why they're still around 50, 60 years later. It's because they were well made. That said, I would say probably it's like a 60-40 kind of situation, maybe even higher. 40% collectible, 60% great instrument. So that said, if you went out and bought like a Fender custom shop guitar or a custom shop guitar from a Gibson, a Sir, any of these custom builders that are doing guitars right now, you're probably going to have a guitar that's equally as good. Now, it's, when it comes to resale, you start getting into a whole different situation. Obviously, the vintage guitar is going to sell. It's kind of like if you get into a spot where you need cash, you're going to be able to sell that vintage guitar for basically most of what you've got in it. Where a brand new custom guitar, especially if it's highly personalized, could be a hard sell. So, at one time when I was buying instruments, my thoughts were, when I didn't have a lot of money, which I still don't have a lot of money, but I always tried to protect my resale. Now that I have vintage guitars, I don't worry so much about that, and I suspect that in the future I'll be buying my instruments more as tools and less as collectibles. Next question. Bob, what are the best shoes for pedals / being on stage? Well, you know the answer to that. It's whichever shoe looks the coolest. Yes, but actually, I try to pick shoes that are like close to the bone, not big, like Chucks, like kind of slip-on type shoes, like Vans, cowboy boots will work. Any kind of dress shoe that's like slim fitting. Some tennis shoes, depending on if they can get into small areas of the pedal board. I try to choose, my shoe to be, to be able to get in between two pedals without accidentally engaging something I don't want to. But the classic choices are like Chucks, our Vans, are some type of cool-looking boot that's not too big. Some type of nice-looking, cool-looking dress shoe or something. Something that will be at home on stage, but has some style and has a little bit of utility to it. Is what I would choose personally. Before I move on, I'll go to the last question, and that is, Bob, why did you sell your Klon pedals? Very good question. I see someone's been watching my older videos. If you haven't seen them, if you go way back in the timeline there, you will see that I used to own some Klon pedals. And I bought those Klons when they were not very expensive. And I had them for a long time. And I really didn't use them very much. To be 100% honest, I didn't really get along with the buffer on the Klon that much. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people believe that it just makes their whole chain sound like sensational. It seemed to mess with my other pedals a lot. I didn't like that about it, but it's a great pedal, don't get me wrong. The Klon is a classic, and I've thought about getting another one at times. But ultimately, it got to the point to where I could literally trade it for a guitar. So that's what I did. And the truth of the matter is the Klon is just an overdrive pedal. It's a good sounding one and whatnot, but it has a distinctive kind of a sound and function, but it doesn't sound any better or worse than anything else. It's just a little bit different, and with the amount of clones and things going right now, there just really wasn't a need for me to have a $2,000 overdrive pedal, much less multiples of that pedal. So that should maybe clear that up a little bit. Probably not, but those are my questions. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to get to them sooner than I got to these. Otherwise, I got some other cool stuff coming up. Let's take a look at what happened at rehearsal this week. You know what I mean? Now, I know that we just had a discussion about me and vintage guitars. That said, I have noticed that a new burst has come up for sale. It appears that rumble seat music in Nashville, Nash Vegas, if you will, has Candy, which is a burst that JD SIMO had and was playing out on the road, and it's a burst that I'm familiar with, so it does pique my interest a bit. So what I thought I would do, maybe show you guys the listing and kind of I'll give my opinion on it a little bit, and then maybe I'll let JD do some of the convincing on that after that's over. That said, let's take a look at the rumble seat listing now. All right, here we go. This is on the rumble seat site, and it says this is 1960 Gibson Les Paul Standard Burst in parentheses. And then it says, we are proud to offer this highly flamed, great playing and sounding 1960 Les Paul Burst. The guitar is great for any player or collector who is looking for an affordable entry into the burst world. A total winner. Call for details. Excellent condition with hard shell case, $135,000. As you can see, there is quite a bit of wear there behind the tailpiece, but it does have a spectacular kind of gull wing top. So, $135,000 is very reasonable for a 1960 Les Paul Standard. Now, it's not my place to talk about the issues on this guitar. I'm not trying to spoil the sale for rumble seat or anything like that, so let's not get this twisted. It's a spectacular guitar. I've held and played this guitar in real life, and it has a very cool looking top and it's a good feeling guitar. That said, it is only, and yes, I said only, $135,000. What I will say about it, without getting into too much of the nitty gritty, is that it's a re-neck, and it also had a hole in the top at one point that was repaired. That said, the repair on the top is immaculately done, and there is no way that unless someone told you, and the uninitiated would never know that this guitar had any work done to it, much less the magnitude of work that has been done. With a top like that, if it was completely straight, had no issues, it would be $300,000 or more probably. So at $135,000, it really is a pretty good deal. It's a great deal, and it's a great guitar. So if you got the bread, make it happen. It's beautiful, and I will say, JD put some wear on the guitar while he had it. There's been some speculation on the internet that it was a bracelet, but it wasn't. I'm almost 100% positive that JD likes to wear blue jean jackets all the time, and they have these Levi buttons that hang off, and I think that when he gets to going, those buttons start to hit the top on whatever guitar it is he's playing. So yeah, he put some marks there behind the tailpiece. Sorry to keep pointing that out, JD, if you're watching this by some chance. But I tell you what, right now would be a great time to cut some footage of JD playing the burst. Bobbradley.